global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. The expectation of most of the Southeasterners is to see how they can secede from Nigeria and also realize their nation, which is Biafra. And the leader of the group has stopped at nothing to push so hard to ensure that this is realized within the shortest possible time. And right now, they've decided to tell Nigeria as a country what their expectation is like. And they have also given assurance that no one will be intimidated into accepting to be a part of that nation, Biafra, because the people have that self-will to choose where to belong to. In an interview that was granted to one of the senior members of IPOB, that's Ima Powerful, he opened up about a lot of things, and one of them was that referendum now to decide Biafra's nation. In other words, that they have done all within their power to see that this issue of Biafra is a reality, and they expect that some conditions will be met if referendum must take place, and they are expecting that to be done in the shortest possible time. And the news have it that the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has hinged the realization of a Biafra nation on referendum to be strictly supervised by the United Nations. A statement by the spokesperson of the group, Ima Powerful, said the move is to allow the people decide if they will need Biafra or want to remain in Nigeria. It is quite clear and understandable to every citizen of Biafra, and indeed the entire world, that we need a referendum where the people will exercise their right on whether or not they want self-rule or continue existence within Nigeria. On that fateful day, they will be allowed to exercise their God-given right to determine what type of future they want for themselves and their children. Should the powers that be in Nigeria wish, they may also seek to extend the same right to other indigenous groups within Nigeria. UN-supervised referendum is a must and a right for every human being in Nigeria to unequivocally state where they wish to belong. We in IPOB and Biafran in general expect the United Nations to supervise this referendum, which will enable even those living beyond the boundaries of Biafra to equally determine their own fate. We want freedom for all, not just for Biafrans alone. IPOB is making frantic effort to ensure that these happen in the shortest possible time. We are not going to force or intimidate anyone or tribe, because the will of the people is sacrosanct and must be respected. Each individual will be allowed to decide for themselves where they wish to belong. The raging Biafra agitation led by our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a divine project, and we are confident of securing our 99.9% approval any day a referendum is held, because more tribes and clans outside the Southeast and South-South are indicating interest to be recognized as Biafrans. The nation of Biafra will be a democratic state where the people will decide what they want. People of various nations in the new republic shall be in charge of their own affairs, while center will only have control over the defense of the country against external aggression and foreign affairs. Wow. And that's just the expectation. And according to Ima Powerful, who is the spokesperson, they're expecting this to happen within the shortest possible time. And I think that though for a while now the government of Nigeria has not replied any of their quest for referendum, but I feel that at a point, just like Ambazonian, how it all happened in southern Cameroon, I think it's going to happen one of these days, where the government of the United Nations may decide to come in to see how they can put things right. But there's some things that have made me to bring this up, because I know that right now the expectation of so many of them, it's really high. And one of the striking thing Ima Powerful said there, which had really gotten me, grabbed about this whole thing, is the fact that he talked about not forcing or intimidating anyone or any tribe, because the will of the people is sacrosanct and must be respected. And guess what? That's superb, because right now so many people outside the shores of what they drew as the map of Biafra had also been seeking to be a part of it. We have also seen most people, even outside, renouncing to be a part of Nigeria, and they're saying, hey, what we want is that ideal democratic state, which is believed to be founded when Biafra is made a country or given independence. So, and all of that, they're trying to point out that just to reflect what will characterize Biafra, because what Nigerians, most people are trying to run away from is, the undemocratic attitude of Nigeria, where people are not given the right to control their regional God-given resources. For example, ideally, if things ought to go the way it should be, we should be looking at the south and also the southeast enjoying everything, their oil, their expertise and the likes, in their own state. But unfortunately, it's not happening like that. Just fairly recently, we heard that there's going to be an automated refinery at Katsina, where the president is hailed from. But hey, Katsina has no oil. But imagine, so which means there's going to be a lot of laying down of pipe straight to the northeast. And this is really unthinkable. Why should you don't have anything like that? And we who have it, we have been deprived of it, and they are moving it. The same thing is even happening in Lagos. They are moving it from here down to northeast. It's really, really unthinkable. It's not right. And what is not right is not correct. Why would you do such, So I think this is the basis with which most people are really yearning and want to take a walk, because things are not people who have, for example, we have oil, South Side have oil, and South East also have oil. So imagine if they said each of the regions should take charge of what they have as natural resources. It therefore means everyone living in Southeast and South South will be living very well. At least, no matter what, 80% of the employees in NNPC should be from the Southeast, are all the states that have oil. They should have a reasonable percentage of their youth working in the NNPC. But guess what? That's not the case. If you go in there, especially at if you look at the organogram, you realize that those at the hem of affairs are actually northerners. And it ought not to be so. Now, these are some of the things that have caused a lot of rancor in Nigeria and has caused some people to say it's never going to be better. Nigeria is not going to be better again. We better, shift and have a standpoint where we look at an ideal state where all of that will be practiced. So I think at this point, Emma Powerful is trying to intimate the entire world to let them understand that what we are looking at as Biafra is not just a population of people who wants to secede, but we already have a structure on ground, and those structures are going to be, regulated based on the principle of democracy, based on the principle of federalism, a system of government where everyone will have the privilege of controlling things in their own state or in their own region, and then clearly stated what will be the responsibility of the president or the central government, which is to ensure that the country is defense against any form of foreign aggression or foreign attack or outside attack and all of that. And guess what? That seems very, very interesting, because it will give room for development. Since we are generating this amount of money, everyone will want to know what is happening, and everyone will be looking at, how do I develop my place? And you realize that more concentration will be there. And I think that had always been the expectation of Nigeria. Well, the issue of IPOB, we are yet to know exact time when it's going to happen. But based on what he has said, he said very soon it's going to happen. And with that, it clearly shows that a lot of people are already putting their fingers crossed. I could still remember some time ago, there was this guy that was interviewed, and he said that he's expectant and he's wishing that it should even happen in the month of July, just to show you how expectant a lot of them are. And guess what? You need to understand what referendum is. Referendum has to be, it's the kind of election that it takes place over a national issue which seems not to be resolved. So, and this is one of it, which means that all those in Nigeria, I think it's going to be a national thing. If it will happen, it's going to be a national thing where everyone will be given the privilege, or those within the boundaries of Biafra will be given that privilege to vote, and they will decide, are we going to be part of Nigeria? Are we not going to be part of Nigeria? I think that is exactly what will happen. But one of the things that they are earnestly desiring to see is the fact that the people who will be supervising it will be United Nations. But, question had always been, how possible would that be, for United Nations to come in and make that a reality? Because I'm just looking at the system. How would they infiltrate the entirety of those states? But however, I've not seen it done before, so I may not fully be in the know how it's going to be done. But guess what? According to the information, it's going to be an opportunity for everyone to decide where he or she will belong to. So that's where we're going to leave it. What is your expectation now that Imam Powerful have come out to tell Nigerians what he's looking at? Please do well